Welcome back. Now, it seems there's almost no business that cannot have an element of AI incorporated into what they do these days. Food Hack, the plant-based meal subscription service, is the latest to make that claim. It's launching a new range of healthy snacks, including pizza, brownies and biscuits, which it says have had unhealthy ingredients swapped for good ones using AI and data science. I've been speaking to Sakshi Chhabra Mittal. She's the founder and chief executive of Food Hack.
There is a massive shift in consumers' mindset. They are turning the back of the pack around. They are understanding the meaning of inflammation and links with disease, longevity, preventative. People want to take their health back in their control. And that's why I think we've seen an interest in all these different divisions. So I think the UK market's been great. I mean, during this time, while most of our competitors, large companies, have actually been losing tons and tons of customers, given this whole cost of living crisis we're living in, during this time, we think we're going to end the year at almost like 5 to 10x in our revenue numbers, which honestly, we hadn't even budgeted for. So I think that the physical products have been doing really well. And I think the whole technology and AI side of things are sort of, they're sort of really helping with that growth.
Now, when you launched, obviously a lot of businesses were benefiting from trends that had been established during the lockdown period. Have you had to change the nature of what you're doing and changing routes to market?
That's an interesting question. I think what I've learned in general is that, we should always build a platform rather than building just a D2C business or just a B2B business. And so that's what we are trying to do here, right? Because if we had just built a D2C business, we would have seen challenges of pre-lockdown, during lockdown, and post-lockdown. Because now customers have started going and buying their own groceries. They have stopped ordering as much online. And so I think we would have seen massive drop in numbers if we were just sort of focusing on that element. So I think for us, we haven't really pivoted much because we were very clear. We want to launch the brand, build the brand, educate the market because we see value in that. So we do D2C in the first year, and then B2B follows. And I think that gives us a nice buffer. So whenever you see dips in one side, you see the other side sort of covering up for it.
You mentioned just now that you're incorporating data science and AI into what you do. Give me some examples.
I don't know if you remember, but when I started building Food Hack a couple of years ago, the first hires I had made were actually machine learning scholars rather than chefs. Because what we are building at Food Hack is, delicious ready meals, but using clinical research. So what that meant initially was someone like me and some doctors I was working with were reading clinical research manually, understanding links with lifestyle, ingredients, disease, all of that, and trying to build recipes, right? But we were a massive bottleneck in reading these clinical research papers. So, the first people I hired were machine learning scholars, and we've been focused over the last couple of years building our own proprietary data models where we are looking through hundreds of thousands of clinical papers, understanding these links between ingredients, lifestyle, biomarkers, life goals, longevity, and disease, right? And on the basis of these, we've now been able to build hyper-specialized data sets that using generative AI, we can now make these models conversational as part of our day-to-day life. So the vision is you wake up in the morning, while you're brushing your teeth, you just click on what shall I eat today?
Now, you're using quite a lot of specialist ingredients, a lot of which have to be sourced from quite far away. How big a pressure is inflation for you? And is that something, because of the specialised nature of what you're doing, that you can pass on to customers relatively easily?
Lucky for us, Ian, we are based on locally sourced because we feel that, ingredients sourced locally have the highest integrity, right? Like our meals look very complex because, the recipes are quite complex, but the actual underlying ingredients are quite simple. They're locally sourced. So we haven't been as badly impacted as some of the kind of dairy heavy companies or, wheat heavy companies. But I think you can make the economics work at economies of scale.
Bit of breaking news to bring you. We've just heard from the